Good afternoon. It is Friday, May 17th, 2024. Jesus often takes a different view of events from everyone else. Here they were at Simon the leper's house, eating dinner, and a woman came in and anointed Jesus with a very expensive perfume. Now Simon was grateful because he had been cured from his leprosy and had folks over at the house again. The woman was generous and worshipful, freely, lavishly giving to Jesus something of immense value. Others there were indignant and jealous. How dare she spend that money here instead of giving it to the poor and helping us with our programs and just how dare she? The Jewish leaders were using it as another reason that they wanted to kill Jesus. But what did Jesus say? How did he respond? In Mark chapter 14, verses 6 through 9, and I'm reading from the New Living Translation, second edition, it says, "But Jesus replied, 'Leave her alone. Why criticize her for doing such a good thing to me? You'll always have the poor among you, and you can help them whenever you want to. But you will not always have me. She's done what she could and has anointed my body for burial ahead of time. I tell you the truth, wherever the good news is preached throughout the world, this woman's deed will be remembered and discussed.'" Wow. He said, leave her alone, is the first thing he said. Stop bothering other people and allow others to worship and give as they see fit. It's not our job to be the worship police. And somehow some folks think that they've got the right to just criticize everybody. I've looked at all of the spiritual gift lists, and I've read several books about spiritual gifts, and I have never once seen where criticism is a spiritual gift, nor is it to be a trait to be admired. And yet some people are so critical of everybody else. They want to criticize everything and everybody. And yet, Jesus says, leave her alone. Why criticize her? Then he says, you always have the poor among you, and you can help them whenever you want to. Hey, if you're concerned about the poor, give some of your money right now. Quit worrying about what she's giving to the poor, and you give some to the poor. It's always hilarious every time we have someone that will say something about the children in church being loud or whatever. I say, well, when can we sign you up to help with children's church? When can we sign you up to be a volunteer? And they go, oh, no, somebody else is supposed to take care of that. Well, it's obviously on your heart. If God's laid it on your heart, the best we can do is provide an opportunity for service. That's what Jesus is doing here. If God's laid the poor on your heart so much, well, fork it over. Let's spend it right now. Give it up. And they tend to quieten down real fast after that. Then Jesus reminds them, hey, poor is always going to be here, but I'm not always going to be here. What a shocker. He's been telling them for the last couple of chapters that he was going to return to the Father, that he was on his way back. And he says, this beautiful woman is preparing me for burial. In other words, she has heard his words and is acting according to his words. Can we give sacrificially according to his words? He reminds us that this woman's deeds will carry on throughout eternity. She is always going to be remembered for her lavish, generous, beautiful giving. Do you want a legacy? Do you want to leave something that will truly make a difference? Then give generously and worshipfully for the gospel to be shared. And don't be looking at what others are doing. You give as God instructs you, and trust God will be instructing others and doesn't need your help pointing them along the way. How precious it is, the gift that this woman gave. and how much Jesus valued and appreciated it. All the other comments and stuff, just background noise. And Jesus didn't pay much attention. But this woman's actions will be remembered forever. We need to give worshipfully, cheerfully, generously, and as we want to, not what someone else instructs us. God bless you.